The three friends, Majed, Salim, and Khalid, gathered as they had promised at the end of the old, dilapidated street. They parked their cars under the bushes and got out. "Thank God you arrived on time this time," Majed said with a grin. "It's great to go back to our adventures, just like in high school," added Salim, stretching his arms. "Work has taken too much fun away from us," Khalid agreed, pulling a heavy backpack from his car. "But we are here now, so let's start the adventure." Each of them put on his gear, and Khalid prepared his camera, snapping a quick group photo before they started their descent into the valley, walking among the short bushes and enjoying the stunning scenery. After a while, they reached a fresh water stream and decided to have lunch. The smell of grilling chicken soon filled the air as they reminisced about their previous adventures. It was a delicious meal, and for a moment they were just teenagers again, without a care in the world. As they were packing up to move on, Majed heard a voice call out, "Uncle, Uncle!" He turned and saw a boy no older than 15 on the other side of the stream. Majed held up a hand. "Stop, friends. Someone is calling from the other side." "My brother forgot the matches," the boy explained. "Do you have a lighter?" "With pleasure," Majed replied, and threw a small lighter across the water. The boy caught it, waved thanks, and rushed off. Majed watched him go, then turned back. "Salim, you have another lighter, don't you?" But his friends were gone. The clearing was empty. "Salim? Khalid, where are you?" Majed shouted. He expected a joke, but only silence answered. Worry began to creep in. He tried calling their phones, but no one answered. An idea struck him. If he could get higher, he might be able to see them. He began to climb the rocky edge of the valley. From the top, he scanned the valley. There, more than 100 meters away, he saw the reflective strip on Khalid's backpack. He scrambled down the hill, but when he reached the spot, the bag was gone. As he looked around in confusion, a faint voice whispered, strangely close, "You will not find them." A wave of fear, cold and paralyzing, washed over Majed. He stumbled backwards and fell from a large rock he had climbed, his weight landing hard on his right leg. He felt his ankle twist, and a pain like an electric shock shot through his body as he let out a loud scream. Time blurred. When Majed's eyes fluttered open, the sun was low in the sky, casting long shadows. A figure stood a few meters away. It was the boy from the stream, but he looked different now. His eyes were like two bottomless black pits, and his limbs seemed unnaturally long in the fading light. "Please," Majed croaked, "help me." The boy spoke, his voice a whisper that seemed to be right in Majid's ear. "You have to get out of the valley before sunset." He then tossed Majid's lost backpack, which landed by his feet. The boy was already fading back into the bushes. "If my family sees you," the whisper echoed, "it will be your end. Run." Panic overrode the pain. With a grunt, Majed pushed himself up, his ankle screaming in protest. He grabbed a thick, fallen branch to use as a crutch and began to limp desperately in the direction he had come from. The last sliver of the sun disappeared behind the valley's rim, plunging the world into a deep, menacing twilight. He heard it then, a dry, skittering sound from the rocks behind him, like claws on stone. It was followed by a low, guttural chittering that made the hair on his arms stand up. He didn't look back. He couldn't. He just pushed harder, his breath coming in ragged gasps as he splashed clumsily through the shallow stream. Just past the stream, his foot caught on something. He fell forward, catching himself with his hands. Lying half-hidden in the dirt was Khalid's camera, the lens cracked like a spiderweb. A cold dread, worse than any fear he had felt before, seized him. They weren't playing a joke. They were in real danger. Shaking, he pushed himself up again and saw them. At the edge of the twilight, several figures moved between the rocks. They were impossibly tall and gaunt, their limbs bending in ways that weren't right. One of them paused, and in the gloom, Majed saw a flash of red, snagged on a nearby thorn bush. It was a piece of Salim's jacket. He was halfway up the slope when it happened. The branch he was using for support slipped on a patch of loose gravel. It tumbled down the rocks with a series of loud clacks that echoed in the silent valley. Below, every single one of the gaunt figures stopped and turned their heads in perfect unison, looking directly at him. There was no more hiding. He abandoned all caution and scrambled up the rest of the incline on his hands and good foot, rocks digging into his palms. The pain in his ankle was a white-hot fire, but the fear was worse. Below, the figures were swarming towards the base of the hill, their movements jerky and unnervingly fast. He threw himself over the crest of the hill and landed on the flat ground where they had parked. He crawled towards his car, fumbling in his pocket for the keys. His hands were shaking so badly he could barely grasp them. The skittering sound was right behind him now, just on the other side of the ridge. The key finally found the lock. He yanked the door open, threw himself inside, and slammed it shut, just as a long, spindly hand, with too many joints slapped against the driver's side window. It left a greasy, black smear on the glass. With a sob, Majed jammed the key into the ignition and twisted. The engine roared to life. He didn't hesitate. He slammed the car into drive and stomped on the accelerator. The tires spun, kicking up a cloud of dust and gravel before finding purchase. The car shot forward onto the dilapidated street. He never looked in the rearview mirror. He just drove, tears streaming down his face, leaving the valley, the darkness, and his lost friends behind. He knew he had escaped, but a part of him would remain in that valley forever, with the memory of their laughter by the stream and the terrible whispers in the dark.